Hey, be a squid and subscribe to my mediocrity. How's it going, my squids? Today I've got a boss guide for you, and it's on Genichiro, the second encounter whenever you climb Machina's castle. So you have two options when you're going to fight this boss. You can either cheese him, or you can fight him traditionally with deflects and counterattacks and all that other stuff. Now, it doesn't matter which one you choose realistically, because he's honestly not that bad of a boss. I mean, the second phase, I even found it a lot easier to kill him during the second phase, but during the first two phases, he gets a little harder because you don't have the lightning to parry off of and just, slap him back with it, so it can be a little harder. And the one thing that you are going to need in order to do this boss fight is Shadow Rush. If you're going to cheese him, you absolutely need Shadow Rush. So we'll start with the cheese way, and then we'll go ahead and move on over to how to fight him traditionally. So in order to cheese Genichiro, the idea for the cheese strat is basically you're going to use Shadow Rush over and over and over. You're not going to use any other move whatsoever. The reason you're using Shadow Rush is because apparently it hits every single time. He doesn't deflect it, he doesn't block it, and if you have some emblems to spare, you can jump on his head and get an extra 1 or 2 strikes in, so that lowers his health even more. And you're basically just going to use this technique all the way up until the second phase whenever he transforms into a lightning dickhead, and then once you go into that form, then the cheese strat for that is essentially waiting for him to lunge at you, and then you, I think it's called Makuri counter or Makiti counter, I don't know how to pronounce it, but basically you want to make sure you have that point as well, which if you have fucking Shadow Rush, you should have that. But anyway, well, you just basically are waiting for that, and then you're gonna go ahead and just slash him twice and then back away, retreat, and then just keep that going. Just keep doing that and doing that. If you're feeling froggy and you want to try and counter the lightning, you can jump in the air and then counter with the lightning. So that's pretty much the only way that you can do that. If you run away from it, you have a chance of getting hit. I tend to just take the chance and go for the challenge. If I miss it, I miss it. If I don't, I don't. It doesn't matter. But if you do happen to counter the lightning, it'll end up being deflected back at him, and it'll cause some serious damage, and then you can go in and get some more hits if you want to. So this is essentially the cheese route. All you gotta do is basically use Shadow Rush on the first phase and just keep hitting him over and over and over, retreat back, Shadow Rush, retreat, Shadow Rush. That's pretty much the whole strat. During the second phase, all you gotta do is just Makiti counter, and then just counter the lightning, and you're good to go. You don't have to, relentless attack. You don't have to do any of that. Just make sure your counters are on point and your fucking bitch game is on point as well. So in order to beat him traditionally, you're going to have to be a very aggressive person. You're going to have to stay up on his ass and just keep beating him down until that posture meter goes to 0. Now, one issue that you're going to notice with doing this is you're going to lose your posture meter as well, because he's also a very aggressive opponent as well. So you're going to have to find that very equal balance in order to be aggressive and defensive at the same time, and your deflection game is going to have to be insane. If you miss a lot of deflections, this is going to build your posture meter up insanely, and you're just going to get broken, and he's going to just murder you instantly, and that's probably going to be the biggest issue, is managing your own posture meter. Now, during the first phase, you shouldn't have really any trouble at all. As long as your deflection game is on point, you should be able to get his first health bar down pretty quickly. So I want to kind of explain something before we move on. So essentially, the Makiti counter is not really possible during the second health bar, just because whenever he jumps in, he will then do a slash move instead of being a lunge move. So you have to jump instead. If you go for the Makiti counter, you're going to get hit by this slash move. So it's better to jump on his head and break his posture that way versus trying to go for the Makiti counter. I don't think it's possible to even counter that, even though it's technically a thrust move because he's thrusting forward and then slashing, but I don't think it's like a traditional thrust move where he actually is, thrusting the blade towards you. So I'm not really sure if you can Makiti counter it. I wouldn't. I would just jump on his head because it's easier that way. And I want to talk about healing because I know somebody's going to lose a little bit of health and just want to heal right away. Let me tell you, do not heal. The only time you heal is between encounters. So basically, you get his first health bar down, heal. Second health bar down, immediately during the second phase, heal right away and then go in for the kill. You cannot heal during combat because he will shoot an arrow at your ass or he will dash into you. Healing on Genichiro is one of the hardest things to do, so do not bother doing that. Now, in terms of fighting him traditionally during the second phase whenever he's Lightning Boy, the idea for this is kind of the same as the cheese strat. You're going to want to basically Makiti counter him, slash, and then just kind of stay up on him if you want to try and build his posture meter. You don't want to be too laid back if you're trying to fight him traditionally. You just want to basically run up on him, keep deflecting, and then whenever there's an opening, attack, build that posture meter, and then whenever he goes up for the lightning attacks, you want to deflect that as easily as possible, and then once you deflect it back at him, you're going to be able to run up on him and get a bunch of hits on. And that's essentially how you're going to want to do this boss fight. He's not really too bad. It's just going to take a while for you guys to understand the attack patterns, and that's realistically every boss in this game. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.